Hello everyone, welcome to Animal Communication. I just tried to adjust that a little bit. Oops. Should be all right. I hope everyone can see me. Can you hear me okay? Let me know that you're here and that you can hear me okay. Welcome to the last Animal Communication session before the winter break. So it's great to see you here. I've got my beautiful boy in the background, as you can see. Hey, Bubba. He's just having a snooze, and it's great to have him on board as well. And I've prepared again a few readings from people that have sent in their photos of their animals. So we're going to be connecting to them very shortly. And I just have a quick chat about something that's really close to my heart and probably to a lot of you guys as well, about animals that have passed away. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you. Hello, Shelley. Great to see you. Lovely to see so many people watching. Yes, I just quickly want to talk about animals and animals dying and animals that have passed away. So just this week I was connecting to a beautiful cat that has passed away, and I had the pleasure of connecting with her a few times now that she's passed away. And it's always beautiful to connect with her, on just in general connect with animals that have passed away, and they can let us know how they're going and anything about their passing and their life with us. And yeah, I'll show you a photo. I've obviously got permission from the owner to share that. She's actually going to be in my book that I'm going to be writing, because yeah, she just passed on messages to me. They were just beautiful, and they just helped the owner greatly with her grief. And so this beautiful girl was talking about her passing away. Hello, Margaret, great to see you. So yeah, this beautiful girl has passed away, and the owner's obviously still struggling with her not being here anymore. And so she said to us that she wanted the owner to remember her in a good way. So she doesn't want her to feel guilty or to feel sad, because she said if she's feeling sad, then the cat is feeling sad as well. So she really wants her to remember her, how they had fun together, how they had a great time together. Hello, Leanne, great to see you. Hello. And so yeah, it is important that we try not to think of those last few moments when our animals were sick, because you look at an animal's life, you know, they were with you for probably 15 years or a very long time. And when they pass away, we just hang on to these last few moments of their lives. And yes, maybe there was a little bit of suffering, but we can't, you know, do anything to stop that. So it is very important that we don't hang on to this moment, because in the end, we still did whatever was best for our animals, and we tried to help them. And if they're ready to go, we let them go. So that's really great as well. So yes, so this beautiful girl really wanted the owner to know that it upsets her when she is upset. She wants her to remember her, how they were sitting in the garden together, how they enjoyed their time together. And she was also saying that she's done everything possible for her to save her. But unfortunately, they don't live as long as we do. So we can't really keep them any longer than their bodies allow them to be here. And there's a really nice saying, and it says about why animals don't live as long as we do. And they say that life teaches you about love, and animals, they don't have to learn about love. That's why they don't have to stay as long as we do. And I think that is so true. I mean, you look at animals, they just love unconditionally. So it's just something that we can really look up to animals and learn from them. So yes, so just remember with animals passing away that I'm sure you've done the best you could and in the animal's interest. And even if you find out later that you could have done things differently, I'm sure at the time you made the best decision in the best of your knowledge. So you don't need to feel guilty about anything. And if you still have doubts, it's probably a good idea to get a reading done and find out from your animal how they feel about it. Yes, I can imagine, Margaret. It's always so sad when they go and they leave such a big hole behind. You know, they're in our homes and we come home and all of a sudden they're not here anymore. And you know, they were always waiting for us, and they're just such beautiful companions. So it's just great to have them with us, and when they're not here anymore, yeah, they just leave a big hole behind. But just remember the good times you had with your animals, and you know, because it's only a short time of their life where they probably were sick or where there were issues, so you don't want to hang on to that, because your animals don't want you to hang on to those moments. They want you to remember them in their good times and how they had fun together with you and how they loved life. You know, they're just so they're forgiving, and they're just such great beings that we can just learn so much from them. And for animals dying, it's a bit like you just taking your clothes off and moving on. So because as you might know, you know, there's so much more after death. So it's not that we just die and then we're in the ground and that's it, you know, it continues. So it's like a journey. And I've actually, hello Kelly, I've actually had a cat say to me once, the owners wanted to know whether she was ready to go. She was quite sick and they were about to put her to sleep. And she just showed me herself how she was standing at the train station with her suitcases packed. And that's really what it is, you know, it's a journey, and they're just going to continue their journey. So they're not hanging on to any bad feelings or anything negative. They're just moving on. And I'm sure we're going to connect with our animals again, because we've got these soul contracts. So I don't think that animals are just gone. You know, they come back. They can even come back to us in that life in a different form. And they're certainly going to visit us again. So hello, Robin. Hello, Marina. Great to see you here today. So, you know, don't try not to hang on to those negative moments with your animals, because they do want you to remember them in their good times. Yes. Hello. Great to see you here. Yes, so today is going to be the last show before the winter break. So if you do have any questions or need any information, you can still email me and contact me. And also I'm going to have a special for everyone that has been watching. So you get 20% off a reading that you want to get done for your animals. So just pop me in an email and let me know. Yes, Margaret, I have got my animals' ashes too. I had my beautiful cat cremated, and my idea was to sprinkle his ashes, and they're still with me because I still haven't been able to let go. So he's still very close to my heart, and I still have his ashes. So that is something that we need for our process of grieving, and that's okay. And our animals are perfectly fine. Often people ask the animals, you know, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to bury you, or do you want me to cremate you? And for our animals, it's more important that we are happy with the decision that we make. You know, they are not too fussed what you do when they have passed away. So they leave it up to you if you want to cremate them, and whatever is important to you to have them still close to your heart. So they really leave that open to us. Hello, Sue. Good to see you. Hello, Michelle. Yes, okay. So there's a few people that wanted to get readings done for this show. So we'll start with the first one. Genia, you had a dog called Chip. Oh, that sounds very beautiful. What breed was he? Okay, so the first one here we have here today. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you. Have a look at this beautiful girl. It's that's Bailey, and Bailey is 9 years old, and she's a Pomeranian. Okay, so I connected with beautiful Bailey to find out how she's feeling and anything she wants to tell me. And Bailey tells me that she's a sweet girl, and she also tells me that she's quite firm and she seems to know what she wants. And she also told me that she sometimes, she gets her way, but in a nice way, by sometimes pretending that, you know, even pretending that she's scared. And this mama hold me, you know, I need you. So she is a girl that gets her own way by just manipulating people a little bit, but in a nice way. Not quite sure what you mean, Megan. How to find the lives? To watch live shows. Yes, well, good to see you here. Okay, so yes, so this girl here seems to a little bit of a princess, and she knows how she gets her way, which is very cute, as animals do. And I mean, we absolutely devote on our animals, so there's nothing wrong with spoiling them. And so when I connected with her earlier today, she tells me that she is a little bit fragile, and she needs to be loved. So she definitely needs this one-on-one with a person, and she needs to connect with people. Oh, you had a Pomeranian as well, Leanne. Gidget, that's very cute. What do you mean, Tanya? As in when people die, that they put the animals to sleep at the same time? Well, I probably don't agree with that, because animals, they don't want to die. You know, I mean, this goes even to animals that people eat, you know, cows and sheep and everything, you know. Their life is as important to them as our life is to us. And, you know, there might be situations where animals are totally devastated. But, you know, if there's someone else around that can give them a great home and can help them with their grief, you know, just because someone in your family dies, you still have to carry on. And we're not going to put you to sleep, even though you have to come to terms with the grief. So if you die and you just say, okay, I'm just going to take all my animals with me, that can probably be a little bit selfish. As I said, there might be situations where animals are happy to do that. But I say in general, you know, if there's someone around, obviously something that is great to think about, you know, if something happens to you, is there someone that can look after your animals, that, you know, that could care for them? Because it's also something, you know, you don't want to have your animals just being left and there's no one really that can look after them. Oh, is that a cat or a dog, Cypher, that you lost? Yes, they can be, but humans are animals, and even you see that cats, they can be like dogs and dogs can be like cats. So you see a lot of personalities in the animals, which is great. Okay, but sorry for that. Going back to Bailey. So yeah, she tells me that she feels safe when she's with her humans, so that's really great. And the owners wanted to know from her how she's feeling health-wise. And speaking to Bailey about her health, she tells me that she does have a few issues with her breathing. So I'm not quite sure whether that's something that you are aware of. So it is probably important to look into that. It feels a bit like asthma to me. So there's something going on in her airways that just restrict her breathing a little bit. And it gives her a little bit of an anxious feeling, same like someone like a human. If you've got asthma and you're struggling to breathe, that can be a little bit scary. So it would be interesting to look into that. And when we talk about health with animals, it's obviously important. Animal communication is a great way to get insight from the animal's point of view, but obviously it doesn't replace a vet. But it can help. Sometimes vets don't know what's going on. So if we can have a chat to the animal and find out what's going on and sort of point them in the right direction, we've had great success with that. So that's definitely very, very helpful. So yeah, with Bailey, so her breathing seems to be a little bit restricted, and she suggested to help her with a nebulizer, just something that helps her get the oxygen into her system a little bit. Because yeah, she did say that can frighten her a little bit, and you can imagine people that have asthma, they probably know that feeling that you're trying to take a deep breath and you just feel that you can't get as much oxygen into your system as you want to. And she also has some pain and some heat in her right front knee. And she did talk about some pain in her left front knee as well, but it was mainly the right front knee. Okay, yeah, we're getting just some feedback from the owner about her breath issues, and she is saying that Bailey is coughing all the time and that the vet said it was reverse sneezing, but that the owner didn't agree. And yeah, I definitely get this tight feeling, as I said, a bit like asthma. So you were right about thinking that there's probably something else going on. So I would probably get that checked out again and say, look, what could it be? sounds a bit, or it looks a bit like asthma to me. You know, what could that be in a dog? You know, it could be an allergic reaction, and that maybe the vets just have a closer look at the airways and the lungs of Bailey just to find out what's going on. So you've well observed that there was something going on with her breathing and her lungs. That's correct. Okay, so yeah, she was talking about some issues in her right front knee, and there was a lot of heat in that leg as well. So are you aware of anything in that leg, that there's any issues? Otherwise, probably be good as well. I did get the feeling that maybe some Reiki or some energy work could be good on that leg. So that can even be some distance work, or someone that does a bit of Reiki to just help her with it, because there was a lot of heat in that leg. And as I said, she spoke about some pain in that knee. And then later on, she talked about some pain in her left knee as well. There wasn't any heat in her left knee, but there was a little bit of pain as well. Hello, Clotilde. Good to see you here. Beautiful dragonfly. Thank you very much for sending that. And apparently there's a bit of fear whether there's some leukemia there as well. I didn't get the feeling that there was a problem with leukemia, but there's obviously some health issues going on, some bigger issues that need to be addressed. So you obviously have concerns that there is something going on. So there is some issues going on, and it's definitely worth investigating it further, and definitely looking into the breathing issue, because when I connected with her, that was really the main issue that came up, that she was struggling with. You know, sometimes we can see lameness in an animal, but it might not bother them as much as something else that's coming up that we don't see. So her lung, that was her main issue, and anything else might not just, you know, stress her as much at the moment. Oh, that's fantastic. Yes. So the owner's mom is a Reiki master. So yeah, definitely get her to work on that right front leg, on the knee, and also on the other side, and just see, because I just got so much heat in that right front leg. So fantastic that you've got someone that can help you with that. So that's really great. And what else did we have from beautiful Bailey? Also questions about her diet, and she said that her diet is okay. She was talking that she needs some omega-3 and some fish oil, and she also said that it's important that she to leave the grain out, which you're probably aware of. Yes, so from Bailey's blood count, they're saying that there could be some cancer there. I didn't get the feeling that it's leukemia, so maybe there's something else going on, you know, whether, as I said, there was some issues in her knee, you know, whether there's something there, but I didn't get the feeling that it was leukemia as such, but it could have been, you know, it can be something else, you know, in her joint, you know, maybe, I'm not saying that there's a tumor, but, you know, there could be something there, so so that could maybe explain the count in the blood count. And yeah, so she was saying about her diet, to leave the grain out, and she said that she likes milk, and she also said that she wants what you are eating, so she seems to be a bit keen on your food. And she also tells me that her teeth are still good, which is great. So she doesn't feel that there's any issues there. And her mum also wanted to know whether it's okay for her to have other dogs staying at the house. And she said that's okay for her. She doesn't mind. She said obviously she wants dogs that are nice to her. So she doesn't really want any dogs that are intimidating her. And she said as long as they're not pushy, but she said it's very important for her that she can have her peace when she's eating. So she doesn't really want to have other dogs threatening her and her food when she's eating. So that was really her main concern, that you can maybe feed her separately, or feed her, you know, make sure that there's no other dogs around when she's eating. Yes, so beautiful Bailey, she was saying that her teeth are okay, and her owner is just telling me now that she had a beautiful vet bill for dental work 2 weeks ago. So of course she's going to be feeling great. Well, my boy that you can see in the background here, he's just had a few teeth removed because he's 18 years old. So he's just had to, yeah, be to the vet. Whoops, we are not quite in focus. Yeah, my phone doesn't really want to focus anymore. I'm not sure if that's my eyes or if that's actually the recording. But anyway, I think you can still see me even though I'm not quite focused, but that's okay. So yes, so she's saying her teeth are okay. And yeah, about the other dogs, important just that she gets her peace when she's eating. Sorry, I'm just trying to focus, get the focus going. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, fantastic. So yes, that was really my conversation with beautiful Bailey, and it was beautiful having a chat to her. Thank you, Amanda. I'm feeling a little bit tired today, but we're getting there. Okay, so the next one we're talking to, Amanda will be happy. That is beautiful Sally. So Sally is a 6-year-old boy. And yes, we had a beautiful chat with Sally. And he comes across like quite a sweet boy. And he said that he's quite laid back. So he said he's really not a big fuss cat. So he just loves to do his own thing. And yeah, he's quite cruisy. Yes, your boy Sully. So he's quite a cruisy boy, and he just does whatever he wants to do, and he seems to be quite laid back, and he doesn't come across like he's a boy with, you know, anxiety issues or extremely complicated. He's just like, you know, I do what I want to do and whenever I want to do. So he seems to be quite a free spirit. He still tells me that he loves cuddles, so he still seems to be an affectionate boy, but it also seems to be a bit on his terms, so the typical cat behavior, as you can say. And so the owner wanted to know, since Cleo has passed away, which is a boxer that was living in the same household, he has become quite bossy. And so the question is, why has he become quite bossy? And, you know, how can we help him to be a bit more balanced? And he said that there was an imbalance in the house. And he said it was a bit like there was a king in the house. And when the king had left, there's obviously an empty seat. And he just jumped on the chance and took the seat. So he just... He didn't really think it through. He just sort of, oh yeah, and just, you know, took over. There's room, so I'm moving up now. And it was actually quite cute because he's not quite aware that he actually upsets anyone by it. He just does whatever he thinks he wants to do, you know. He doesn't really take other animals and other people's feelings into account. And it was actually quite cute because he promised me that he would, how did he say it? He said that... he just thinks of himself and he forgets to consider others, and he didn't realize that it was upsetting others, and he promises to be a bit better. So it would be really great to hear from you, Amanda, how he is going. And also if he is a bit naughty, just remind him and say, hey, you said that you would, you know, you would be a good boy and you would behave yourself a little bit better, because I don't get the feeling from him that he does it on purpose. Yes, we will see, Amanda. Let me know. So it doesn't come across like he does it on purpose, and he's certainly he doesn't have any mean bones in his body, but he's just, you know, I just do whatever I want to do and what feels right for me. And we just need to remind him a little bit, saying, hey, you know, there's others around as well that have feelings, so it would be great if he can take that into account as well. And yes. So yeah, it would be great if he actually sticks to his word, and that he does, yeah, he does make an effort to be a little bit nicer. Yeah, but he did tell me that he is quite cuddly and that he does enjoy it. So he's not just, I see. So he's your cat, is he, Beck? So yeah, he's not a naughty boy in any way, and he does love his cuddles, so that's great. And he also suggested to have doing some cleansing in the house. So with some sage, something you can do yourself, or you might know someone that can do it for you, and it'd probably be good for the balance, because he was talking about having a bit of an imbalance in the house. Oh, okay, so he lives with both of you, with Amanda and Beck. Oh, I see. Well, we'll see. Maybe a lot of people see changes in their animals, so who knows? I'm going to be excited to hear how he's going. So please send me an email, after a week or so, and let me know if he actually stick to his word. Yeah, that would be great. If you can just use some sage and just give it a bit of a cleansing because of the imbalance that beautiful Sally was talking about, it probably help the whole household to cleanse the house. Fantastic if you can do that yourself. So that's great. And so that was pretty much my conversation with your beautiful boy Sally. And then we also had Millie and Cleo. So beautiful Cleo on the left has passed away, and Millie, who is Cleo's best buddy, he's what's a girl, is obviously suffering from the heartbreak of losing her friend. I'm just confused whether Millie, I think Millie is a girl. Yes, so she's obviously missing Cleo a lot. Yeah, she's a girl. So talking to Cleo first, I can't quite recall what Cleo said. We've connected with her before. Oh yes, yeah, that's not nice for Millie. So yeah, let me know how it is going, and hopefully Sally will stick to his word and behave himself a bit better. Okay, so Chloe, who's the boxer on this photo that you can see, Cleo tells me, did I say that right, Cleo? I think so. So she tells me that she was a dream dog. She tells me that she was very well behaved. She tried her best. And she also tells me that she was your partner and your support. And she also said that you had a very strong bond with her, and not all the people understood the bond you had with her. So I do get the feeling that you actually had a great connection with her, even some animal communication happening, that you could understand her and she was understanding you. So you had a telepathic connection with her. And yeah, there were some people that didn't quite understand that, well, in the end it's just a dog, so how can you talk about things like that? But you and Cleo knew exactly what, how deep your connection was with her. And so not all the people got that, but that's okay, she's saying. And she said that you always talked to her, which made her feel safe. So she felt that she was feeling really comfortable in your presence. And she said that you did give her confidence. And she also said that you always kept her warm, and also that you gave her good food. So whether you cooked for her, but she thought she was quite special the way you looked after her. And you wanted to know about any signs, or that she's visiting you. You feel that she hasn't visited where you felt that your horse has visited before. And she shows me a lizard in the garden, and she said to look out for them. Yes, she was a very special girl, wasn't she? So yeah, she's talking about lizards. I'm not quite sure what that means to you and to Cleo, but she's saying that to watch out for them. Obviously at the moment you probably wouldn't have many around, but something for later, when spring comes again and summer, to look out for the lizards. And she also tells me that she has visited you in your dreams, but you probably might not have remembered. So and it's interesting, the cat I was talking to, yes, so the cat I was talking to, she also said that she has visited her owner previously in her dreams, but not in the form of a cat. So Cleo could have come to you in your dream, but not in the form as Cleo as such, but in another character just to teach you a lesson. So that's possible as well. So just because you haven't seen Cleo in your dreams as such, you know, firstly, you might not remember, and secondly, she could have visited you in a different form, not as Cleo as herself, but still, you know, to come in your life to teach you a lesson or to show you something. So just keep that in mind when you have quite strong dreams, and then see whether, you know, could Cleo have been part in this. So that is quite possible. And you also, I asked her again about signs, you know, is there any signs that she's showing you that she's around? And she actually tells me that she reminds you of things. So she's saying, you know, if you go out the house and all of a sudden you go, oh, I forgot my phone, and you have to go back and get your phone, she's telling me that she is the one that reminds you of those things. So she seems to be your organizer or your personal assistant. So if you have these flashbacks that you forgot things and you have to go and get something, or that you don't leave something behind, just keep that in mind, because she's telling me that she actually puts those thoughts into your mind, which is awesome. You know, I wish my animals would do that, because I always forget something. So just keep that in mind when things pop into your head and you go, oh, I forgot my keys, or I forgot my phone. And then just think of Cleo and remember that she's your personal assistant and she's helping you to organize your life. So that's great. And she also tells me that she was your guardian, and she also tells me that she's busy buzzing around, and that she's quite occupied at the moment doing things. So it's always with anything, you know, if someone stays behind and the other being leaves, it's always harder for the ones that stay behind, because we have our daily routine and the other being is just missing in that daily routine, because we've done it for so long. Where if you go on holiday, everything on holiday is fantastic and exciting. So for the one that leaves, it's always a lot easier than for the one that stays behind. So we often think, oh, you know, our animals might have to be really upset because they're not here anymore, but you know, they're buzzing around doing other things. So it's really us that often feel terrible, because that we're just missing them so much. So Cleo seems to be Cleo seems to be happy and buzzing around doing what she's doing. So just keep an eye out for those signs she was just talking about, because she tells me that she's still around you and she's still helping you. Well, Wendy, I don't do cards. I'm doing readings on animals. So if you've got animals, I do readings for them. So yeah, I can't help you with cards. Sorry for that. And Amanda, don't just go yet, because we've got Millie as well. You wanted to have a chat to Millie, and Millie is the beautiful girl here who was Cleo's best friend, and who is now a bit upset by not having beautiful Cleo. Okay, so beautiful Millie, when I connected with her, she tells me that she feels a bit vulnerable, and she just feels a bit lonely and depressed. And she also said that she feels a little bit sickish, so I think her immune system is a little bit affected by it. And that's probably just because of the grief that, you know, when you're not feeling well, obviously you will easier, you know, be unwell. So I'm not quite sure what you can do with cats, but it'd probably be a good idea to just, you know, boost her immune system. You could probably use some homeopathic things just to give her immune system a bit of a boost to make her feel a little bit better. And she also tells me, because Chloe is not here anymore, that she really needs you, and because she feels lonely and vulnerable. Yes, Shelley, they're absolutely beautiful boxes, aren't they? I totally agree. So yes, beautiful Millie. She said to spend time with her, that can help her. You're away at the moment, Amanda. So yeah, but maybe there's someone else that can spend some time with Millie. And she said also to encourage her to go outside so she can be in nature and she can ground herself. So same with us people. If we, if we've lost someone and we just sit at home and it's quite easy to get depressed, but if we can actually go outside, that's really fantastic. Go out in the fresh air and just breathe and connect with nature again. So that is definitely something that would be a good idea for beautiful Millie. I'm sure that your daughter will be doing the right thing for Millie. So so it's really just to support her, spend some time with her, and just let her know that she's not on her own, that she's not alone. Okay, so she did say that she is grateful though that she can be with you and near you. So if she's got someone, and that can be your daughter, because she knows your daughter. So if your daughter can support her in that time, that would be absolutely fantastic. Okay, well, that was beautiful, Millie. Thank you very much for letting me have a chat and connect with Millie. And then we have beautiful Charlie. This one here is Charlie. He's it's actually his birthday tomorrow, I have been told. He's turning 2. It was my pleasure, Amanda. Okay, so that's beautiful Charlie, and yeah, as I said, his birthday is tomorrow, so I'm sure he's gonna get a lot of kisses and cuddles, and probably a doggy birthday cake. Oh, hello Natasha, good to see you here. So Charlie tells me that he's quite new to the world, and he does feel a bit insecure about everything. So everything seems to be thank you, Shelley, for passing on your birthday wishes. So yeah, Charlie feels a bit insecure and everything, so still a bit like a baby. So everything that he sees is a bit like, whoa, what's that? And he's just unsure about things. So he still needs a little bit time, and he still needs to grow up a little bit. So he still comes across like a baby, and he just needs a little bit of guidance in his life at that point. And he said a lot of things for him seem scary because he doesn't understand them. So you can certainly help him by explaining things, what is happening, what are you doing, and what are you expecting from him as well, just to give him a better understanding. Hello Simon, good to see you. And he tells me that he's a quirky little man, and he's good fun, and he's great to have around. So he really seems to be a bit of an entertainer. That's him, Charlie, whose birthday is tomorrow. So again, he's saying that sometimes he doesn't understand things. So if you can explain to him, oh, hello Storm, good to see you. Great to see you. I'm looking forward to catching up with you again. Yes, I will actually have a chat to you about Rory as well, Megan. He's on my list. I think he's the next one, actually. So, yes, stay on here and we'll have a chat to him very shortly. Okay, so, yeah, going back to Charlie, he's a bit unsure what is expected of him. So if you can, anything you do, just explain to him, we're going to the park, we're going for a walk. What are you doing? Try with him to talk in a positive way, to tell him what you expect of him. So what you want him to do, rather what you don't want him to do, because they don't understand the negative version of it. So always say, could you please, come with me? Or, rather than saying, don't do this, don't do that. So always try to speak to them in a positive way. And he also said with new situations, he seems to be quite clingy. So he gets a bit overwhelmed. So he's a dog that you don't want to just throw in the park with 20 other dogs, because that's like, whoa, what's going on? There's too much. So he's one that just, anything that's outside his routine, you just want to, take it one step at a time and just introduce him to one dog and then another dog and then bring him into a group of 2-3 dogs. So you just don't want to overwhelm him with big situations, because he's saying in his routine and at home, so he seems to be quite confident, anything that he knows. So we just don't want to put too much pressure on him and scare him too much, because then he just becomes withdrawn, and he just sort of seems to put himself a bit in a shell where he's comfortable. And so we just want him to learn in a positive way. So just try to do little steps with him, and yeah, as I said, just introduce him slowly to new things to bring that into his routine. And yeah, just not push it over top. He tells me that he loves and adores his family, and he also tells me that he tries hard and he tries his best. He does tell me though that he can have a little bit selective hearing, especially in a environment where he feels safe and happy. So if he's if he's at home, he does come across like he's actually quite a confident boy, just because he's, he knows what he's doing and he's happy, and so that's great. How he's feeling about any changes, as I said before, just bring him slowly, introduce him to changes, just not too much at once, just to get him slowly adjusted to new situations. And you just don't want to scare him, because then it's a negative experience for him, and it doesn't really help him in his education. And even though he's already 2, he still comes across like quite a young boy, and he still has a lot to learn and to grow up. He said that he likes his friends. He said he knows them and he's comfortable. So again, it's more about dogs that he doesn't know. He might be a bit like, whoa, who is this and what do they want? So again, introducing him slowly and one at a time will definitely help him with his confidence. And he also told me to let him play with water. He said that will be a good thing for his routine. So that is something that, whether he's a little bit frightened of it at the moment, and he feels that that is something that he wants to do and he needs to learn. So yeah, just challenge him a little bit every day to just broaden his horizon and just get him to know a lot of things. Yes, that was pretty much my conversation with beautiful Charlie. So happy birthday again to Charlie for tomorrow. Now the next one is actually a boy that does have a birthday cake. And we probably have someone here that knows who we're talking about. Look at this beautiful face. And have a look, he's got a beautiful birthday cake. Looks like a dog birthday cake. So this is beautiful Rory. And Rory is a Staffy, and he was the next one that I had a conversation with. And Rory tells me that he has a sense of protecting his family. So he loves his family, and his family is very important for him. And so he does want to protect his family. I mean, he doesn't come across like an aggressive dog at all, but he just... he knows his family and he knows they are everything for him. So he does want to look after them. And he tells me that he is a bit of a clown and an entertainer. And he also tells me he loves music and singing. So I was just wondering whether you might have sung for him for his birthday at this occasion, because he does have a birthday cake. So you probably did sing happy birthday for him. And he tells me that he does actually like when you sing, or singing, so I guess music in general. And he tells me that he's quite a happy dog, and he is a dog that is just happy in his family. So he doesn't really need to be in the center of attention, because one of the questions was how he's coping with the baby. I'm not quite sure if it's a baby boy or a baby girl. Okay, yeah, so you do actually sing a lot. I guess with your baby, you would probably be singing as well. So I think not just your baby is enjoying that, but your dog as well. So is it a baby boy or a baby girl? So I didn't have that information. A girl, okay, yeah. So there's a new baby in the family. So obviously she wanted to know how Rory is coping with that situation. And Rory tells me that he's a dog. For him, it's important to be in the family. And if you love your baby, if you love someone, Rory is like, okay, that's family and I love them too, regardless. So I feel that he does have a connection with the girl, and I don't get the feeling from him that he's jealous. He just if you love someone, he will love them too. Hello, Susie. Oh, that's fantastic. We've got someone from the UK here. Fantastic. It must be morning in the UK. So thank you very much for joining us. So yes, beautiful Rory here. He's happy to be in his family, and he does actually enjoy he enjoys being in the family, and he's not the jealous kind of dog. So as long as he's in the family, he feels he's part of it. I don't get the feeling from him that he needs to be in the center of attention. How, you know, many dogs, they want to be in the center and it's only them, and if someone else comes along, they get jealous. And Rory doesn't come across like that. He just tells me if he's in his family and he's with his family, he's happy. So he doesn't seem to be that jealous kind of dog, which makes life a lot easier. Yeah, it's lunchtime in the UK now. Well, you enjoy your lunchtime, and thank you very much for joining. And so he tells me he loves what you love. So if you love your baby, he loves your baby too. So that's really fantastic to have such an understanding dog, because obviously if a baby comes along, they take a lot of our time. And but Rory really seems to be happy with the situation to just, you know, go along and be part of it. And he said how you can help him, or what you can do. You can probably spend a bit of one-on-one time with him, which will be great for him, where it's just you and him. But again, it's not something that is necessary. If you could just, you know, spend 5 minutes with him, that would be fantastic. You don't have to spend 2 hours with him every day, but if you can just spend 5 minutes, you know, let's say you put the baby girl to sleep and she's having a little nap, then just go and spend 5 minutes with him and he'll be perfectly happy with that. So it's more really to be part of the family. So if you lock him outside all day, then he doesn't feel he's part of it. But as long as he can hang out with you guys and the baby is there as well, that doesn't bother him. So that's actually great to hear, and it makes life a lot easier for you, I think, if you know that he's quite uncomplicated about the situation. You also wanted to know how you can help Rory to have a relationship with your baby. And he seems to be a real observer. So he knows what he can do, what he can't do. He seems to be quite careful with your baby. So he tells me that it's something that will develop as the baby gets older, and it really seems to be happening naturally. So Rory seems to be a very switched on and smart dog, so you don't need to actually try to manipulate anything. Just let it flow, because they will build their own relationship and their own connection. And I actually get the feeling that he will be quite fond of her, and that they might even have a stronger connection than you have with him now. So I think there will be a strong connection between your baby girl and Rory, but just let it flow naturally. So there's nothing that you have to organize. It will just happen, probably a bit further down the track when your baby gets a bit older. But he really seems to have it under control how it will happen. And, you know, you just need to let it flow. And whenever Rory and your baby they are ready for it, then they will connect. So yeah, there's nothing to worry about. And yeah, the other thing you were saying, what can you do for him? And he said again that, you know, you can spend a bit of one-on-one time with him. The other thing he also suggested is to give him a job. So you could say, you know, can you please, you know, look after the house, you know, can you let me know when there's someone coming? Or, you know, when the baby's sleeping, you could say, could you let me know when the baby's waking up? You know, so just give him a job so he feels important. And it would be great if it can involve the baby as well. So as I said, you could say, you know, if the baby wakes up, could you please let me know? So that way he's got a job and he feels important. And he also said you could cook for him. That makes him feel special as well. And he said 2 minutes, you know, just with him, that's fine. You don't need to spend a lot of time with him, but it is obviously nice if you can have a couple of minutes where you can just spend time with him when, for example, your baby girl is asleep. But he said again, he's not upset, he understands. And he did say that sometimes he gives you the really look, which is more a bit of a, you know, oh, really. So he doesn't come across upset about anything. So you probably know what he means. But yeah, it's not in a bad way. It's just like, oh, really? So it's more about having a bit of a laugh. So, but he also wants you to know that you can trust him, which is really great, because obviously with animals and babies, you always have to worry a bit. But he seems to be quite clear in his mind what he can do, what he can't do, and what he has to do and how to react around the baby, which is really great. So this was beautiful Rory with his birthday cake. Oops, there he is. Have a look at his beautiful face. Isn't he absolutely adorable? Okay, and then I've got a group of 4 beautiful animals here. The problem is I don't really know which one is which. So I had a bit of a collective reading with the group. So I'll show you the photos. Just reading the message. Yes, it was Megan. It was my pleasure connecting with beautiful Rory, and I'm glad I could give you some answers for your situation at home. And as I said, he comes across like a happy boy, and you're doing the right thing by him. And if you can, sneak in a couple of minutes with him a day, that's fantastic. So just keep doing that. Okay, so as I said, I've got 4 dogs here. 3 have passed away, and 1 is still with us. So I'll just quickly show you the photos. Yeah, I didn't get a clear information which dog is which dog, and they are all, we've got mother and three of her kids. They are all cattle dog crosses or Kelpie crosses. So absolutely beautiful, adorable boys and girls. So the question was how we can help the owners with their grief. Again, 3 of them have passed away. And as I spoke to you earlier in the day, how painful it can be when our animals leave us. And so we just wanted to get a bit of information from them, how we can, how they can help us with the situation, and how we can maybe feel a bit better about the situation. And they tell me that they were all very devoted dogs, and they seem to have been great family dogs, and also quite, how can you say it, very smart and switched on. And they're saying that sometimes they were a bit of a handful, but they're saying, that was something that when you do things with them, that helped them to calm them. They're saying sometimes one of them was more active than the other, but they all seem to, same when you have 2 babies, they kind of get a bit overexcited about things. And also the owner was telling me that they moved place, and they are telling me that they are excited about the move, and they say that they think this is exactly what she needed. Excuse me. So I don't know what the reason was for the move, but they thought it was actually a good idea for the move. So they were very thrilled that this did actually happen. And talking about connecting with those beautiful creatures that are not here with us anymore, they're telling me to just look up in the stars, and they say every little star is a connection that we have with them. So whenever we walk outside, especially when you're in the outback somewhere, every time you look up and you can see all the beautiful stars, every beautiful star is a connection you have with your animals. So again, think of them in a positive way, and don't be sad, because the ones that have passed away, they are still together. And they were also saying that Ginger, who's still here, that she wasn't quite ready to go, so she's still here with us, and she's obviously a bit upset about the other 3 dogs not being here anymore. And she's saying as time goes on, the pain is less, but for her it's obviously quite important now that she has your support, because she's saying that she's starting to become a bit reliant on you, and that she just doesn't feel that happy to be on her own, because she has been with other, with animals all the time. Okay, so Yeah, so Ginger, who is still with us, she tells me that her heart is broken and that she's quite upset about them not being here anymore. But she's also telling me that she is connecting with them, but she's also saying that she does have dreams at night sometimes where she's quite upset. So she really had quite a strong bond with her brothers and sisters and with her mom, that she just really misses them terribly. And she also said because of the move, because that happened at the same time, she's saying she's a bit lost in the new place. You know, she was in an old place for a while and that was her home. And then when you come to a new place where you haven't been and you lose your friends at the same time, that was a bit of a challenge for her. But as I said to you before, now that time goes by, she's feeling a little bit lighter in her heart. And it is just important for her that she does have your support. So if they lose their friends, of course, you can't replace their friends, but the more time you can spend with them, you can just help them to make them feel a little bit better. And so they're saying that their bond is eternal, and they're telling me that they're still connecting with you as well. And I do get that feeling that you get the feeling from them visiting as well. So I'll just quickly show you the photos of those beautiful boys and girls. They are just absolutely adorable. And they want me to tell you to remember that they are not gone forever, that they're still connecting with you. And they say that it is important that you keep your heart open to keep the energy flowing and to keep that connection going with them. So, and they also tell me that they want you to know they can still hear you. So when you talk to them, even if they're not here anymore, then they can still hear you. And they also tell me that you see sometimes, or that you think that Ginger connects with the other dogs as well. So you can see that they still have a bond and that they still connect somehow. But also Ginger is saying, obviously, when she's sleeping or, at home when she's just, lying somewhere, that she does miss them and that she wishes that they were still here. So if you can support her by having her close to you, that will definitely help her in those situations. And but I also said to her, do you need another companion? And she said that she's okay on her own. She's saying, even if you bring another dog in, it obviously doesn't replace her friends, because she had a very strong bond with them. So just by getting another dog in doesn't really, lessen her pain. So it's really about her friends, that they were her one and everything. So obviously she's still missing them badly. But she, as I said to you before, she, as time goes by, the pain definitely lessens. So you can just support her as much as you can by just having her with you, and maybe letting her sleep near you, rather than having her sleep somewhere on her own. Yes, so that was my conversation with those 4 beautiful boys and girls. If the owner is watching, maybe just send me an email and let me know. Give me a bit more information on those 4 beautiful boys and girls, and I'm happy to have another quick chat with them further down the track. Okay, so our hour is already over. So I hope I've done all the animals that we had on the list today. As I said today, so that will... Yes, Natasha, so it just gets... give me a little bit more information which boys and girls are which, and I'm happy to have another quick chat with them to give you a little bit more information, because I just didn't really know which one is which and what information you wanted, which questions you had for them. So I'm happy to have another quick chat with them. Okay, so yes, we're pretty much finished for today. I hope we managed to connect with all the animals that people wanted to hear from. Yes, Sci-Fi, I think that was a cat, Beverly, wasn't it? Thank you, Shelley. It was fantastic connecting with your girl, I think it was. It was my pleasure connecting with all these beautiful animals. So yeah, come to my website, to my Facebook page, and like my page so you you don't lose contact. And I always have specials on as well, so you can sometimes get readings for half price or get a discount. Obviously also about courses, because hey, you can all learn how to communicate with animals. So wouldn't it be great if you can connect with them yourselves, and you know, anytime you have a problem, you can just have a chat to your animals and find out what's going on. So I'm going to be a bit busy in the next few weeks. I've got a course coming up in Melbourne. I've got a course coming up in Adelaide. We got New Zealand on the list, and Europe again at the beginning of next year. So I'm very excited to travel. We're probably going to be going to America as well, because I've got quite a few clients over there that would like me to connect with their animals and teach them how they can communicate with them as well. So yeah, come to my page, like my page, so you don't miss out on any of the tips and tricks and information and discounts. And I will also let you know, obviously, on my page when I'm going to go live again, once I've finished all my big projects that I have. So there's a few secret things happening that I can't talk about just yet. But yeah, I'm very excited about it all. And as I said, I will be doing a discount. So anyone that would like to get a reading done, just email me and I will give you a discount code that you can use at checkout to get 20% off your reading. That will be valid for a couple of months until my next show will be on, because obviously in the show I've been doing free readings. But yeah, in the meantime, if you want to get a reading done, you've got some urgent things coming up, just send me an email. I'll give you a discount code and you can then book a reading and get 20% off. Yay. And yeah, as I said, you might want to come and do a course with me. So just send me a message. You can contact me, email, phone. All the information is on my website as well as my Facebook page. And yes, I'm very excited to see you again soon. And if you have any questions in the meantime, just contact me. I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions and do any readings for you, and hopefully meet you one day in one of my courses. Catch you later. It was great seeing you. Bye.